Hi, everybody. Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. Happy Monday. Not so happy, was it, to be honest? It would have been a lot nicer with 3 points in the bag rather than just 1 point. They were there for the taking. And it's just like the Chelsea game, wasn't it? Do you remember the Chelsea game at home a couple of weeks ago? They were for the taking as well. And those, if we picked up 2 wins there, that's another 4 points. God, we would have been 12th, something like that, wouldn't we? Unbelievable. And obviously, we don't play again in the Premier League until the 2nd of April. And if results don't go our way, which, to be honest, they haven't done it. They haven't they've been a cruel mistress. Let's be honest. We could be bottom with with Bournemouth and Leicester both 3 points clear of us. Southampton 4 points clear of us with Everton. Forest 5 points clear, and Wolves 6 points clear. So yeah. Doesn't make good, and actually Palace would probably be around there about 6 points as well. But so, yeah. Anyway, your attention turns to Thursday. AK Larnaca at home. I would love them to play 2 up front and score a shitload of goals just to give the crowd something to cheer about. But I don't think it's going to happen, is it? I don't think it's going to happen. Or go with a full, kids side. Again, I don't think that's going to happen either. Anyway, Hammer's headlines with that jolly intro. Hammer's headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. A few little stories. First one was a debunk story about this picture. The Jose Mourinho photobomb incident, I'm calling it. Now, obviously, this image appeared on a lot of social media on Friday, I think it was, and it's been debunked. And so that's the truth. We're going to give you the truth. So obviously the crossed hammers picture, making the West Ham star salute, basically was across all the front pages, all the front pages in Italy over the weekend. Obviously, he is one of several people who have been linked with maybe replacing David Moyes as the West Ham manager. According to a Roma source, West Ham did make a concrete offer for him, who was flattered. And according to La Roma 24 in Italy, it claimed that West Ham delivered a notable offer to Mourinho for a sensational return to London and the Premier League. The report claimed that Mourinho was flattered on the rich offer. So some supporters believed he knew exactly what he was doing when he posted up that photo of himself in the sort of crossed hammers pose on his social media. He did post an image to Instagram, and obviously some West Ham fans were believing he was trolling us or flirting with us, but that is not the case. The image, as I said, was on all the front pages in Italy. It's obviously the Italian sports pages, and it's got nothing to do with West Ham whatsoever. Nothing. Instead, Football Italia has explained it was a reference to a handcuff gesture he famously made when he was manager of Inter. And the reason for that was after he was handed a 2-match touchline ban recently, having been sent off during the 2-1 defeat to Cremonese following a row with the 4th official, Marco Seria. Basically, Roma were refusing to let any of their players speak to the media for the rest of the season. So in protest, so Mourinho took to Instagram with that not too subtle message. And it harkbacks that legendary sort of cross. He did it then. Did it? No one picked out when he did it for Italy, Inter Milan years ago. So even in silence, Jose Mourinho can still make a message. And that message is clear. It's nothing to do with West Ham. A club insider at West Ham last week reported that we didn't put an offer in for Mourinho, as it'd be far too much hard work, having seen previous interactions and relationships with club owners. So yeah, Mourinho's not coming. Anyway, let's talk about someone who could come in, and that is the Sheffield United striker Iliman Diani. He's apparently wanted by us, Everton, Newcastle, according to reports. Sheffield United are currently second in the table, 4 points ahead of Middlesbrough. Michael Carrick's Middlesbrough in third, who did come out and say he was flattered by potentially being linked to the West Ham job, but said David Moyes is still in charge and has got enough to succeed and that type of thing. So he did comment on that recently. But one player in in Sheffield United, who is obviously, we look at John Egan as well. We've looked at him as well, and there's Sandy Burge as well. They've got some good players, Sheffield United have, but apparently the forward DIAYE is attracting a lot of interest. Apparently, Everton put a bid in for him. Or they were mulling over a £15 million bid in January for him, but it seems as though their interest has returned. And according to the Sunday Mirror, Everton retain their interest in DIAYE alongside Newcastle and us. Now, he's so far scored 11 goals and 7 assists in 36 appearances, and playing in the Premier League for DIAYE will be almost a certainty. Well, it could be a certainty, depending on what league West Ham are in and Everton are in potentially. But obviously, Sheffield United are quite likely to go up, and even if they fail the promotion, then DIAYE could be on the move. But with us and Everton, embroiled in this sort of relegation dogfight, maybe it's too early to assume that where he'll be playing, what division he'll be playing. So it's someone we've been looking at. And I mean, he's very quick, very mobile. And yeah, it could be a useful addition to West Ham's strike force. Maybe with the likes of Antonio moving on, he could come in and offer something very similar to the way sort of we played Cornet towards the end of the game randomly, where he sort of played him up front and trying to sort of knock balls in behind. That's the role he would play, DIAYE, definitely. Not only did the West Ham men, have a very poor results against the men's Aston Villa side yesterday, but the West Ham women's side also had a poor result, losing 2-1 to Aston Villa women at home at the same time. They played it almost an hour apart. We kicked off at 2 o'clock. They kicked off at 3 o'clock. Paul Konchesky's side were left bemoaning missed goal-scoring opportunities and defensive errors. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? That sounds familiar, just like the men's team. Villa took a 2-0 lead before Vivian Assaye eventually half the deficit. That leaves the West Ham women's side 7th in the WSL. Next up is Man United, who are currently 2nd in the WSL. Villa had 3 ex-West Ham players in the starting lineup, I think. Yeah. Not a great result for all round in terms of playing this Villa. But one side that did win, you can always bet on the under-18s, isn't it? Always bet on the under-18s. They're just 4 points away from winning the under-18 Premier League South title with 6 games left. And if results go their way, unlike ever going their way for the West Ham men's side, but if they do go our way, we could seal the title this weekend coming. They beat Norwich City under-18s 4-1 away from home. With goals from George Earthy, Divine Mbama, Caelan Casey, and Lewis Orford, sealing an important victory for Kevin Keane's men. As confirmed by the club yesterday, over the weekend, the FA Cup Youth Cup semi-final will take place at London Stadium against Southampton on Thursday the 6th, 7 p.m. kickoff, with details on tickets being released soon. And obviously that comes the day after we play Newcastle United at the London Stadium. April's a massive day. Massive game. I think there's, if we get through to the quarterfinals, I think there's 7 home games, something like that, 6, 7 home games we'll be playing. And because of that, we'll be doing we do a big charity event soon. But we're talking about that because there's lots of opportunities for donations at match days. And that is it, my friends. Hope you have a good rest of the day. Take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith. Come on, you irons. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care. Bye.